think all of us are, players and coaches alike, are looking forward to 2013. We feel like we've got a great blend of old and new. We brought back several very important players from last year's conference championship team, and we've got a talented group of freshmen in here and a very talented junior college catcher to add some new to the mix. And we feel like that this year we should again be able to compete for the conference championship, and then see if we can't finish one spot higher in the conference tournament. Well, ideally, you never want to have a recruiting class of 11 players, but we had need and opportunity kind of meet itself. We had a need to beef up the depth of our talent. Plus, we had an opportunity to rise when there was just a lot of good players available last year, and we chose to go ahead and expand our recruiting class a little bit. There's always anxiety of how a new team is going to mesh. Every year you go through the same process, but usually you're only meshing maybe 4 or 5 players with the returnees. Now, where it's almost we got as many new as we do old, that makes it very, very more anxious for us coaches to see how it's going to work. But I got to give the players just a huge amount of credit. They have done great. I don't when I go out there at practices each day now, I don't even think about who's new and who's old. I mean, they're all owls, and that's just been really good. If you look at this year's roster and you look at the veterans, Sharon Swanson is one of the most prolific offensive players in the league. Kaylee Williams last year as a freshman kind of arrived with a little bit of authority onto the scene. They will be a big part of our offensive attack this year. But if you really want to talk about the significant returnees, they call it fast pitch for a reason. And we're blessed to have 2 experienced pitchers coming back. Abby Mixon and Amanda Henderson both are worthy of all conference consideration. They'll be what we lean on until we really find our identity. Pitching cannot win games for you, but it can keep you in games until you can win it. And we feel like we've got pitchers that can do that. We feel like that we are very blessed to have 2 of them. As far as other returnees that'll play a lot, there's one returnee that's going to be in the lineup this year that was not in the lineup last year. She was out with an injury, Sarah Sykes, our starting center fielder. I mean, she's an all-conference caliber player. The conference doesn't really know that yet, but when she transferred in here from Georgia, we knew what we had. She had a great first year here with us, and unfortunately last year the broken wrist cost her the season. And so we've got good veteran leadership, in the infield and in the outfield. The steadiness of Carly Van Auken at shortstop will be back. You sprinkle in Jensen Hackett and Bianca Durant and Natalie Rhodes in the outfield. So you've got a good nest of returnees that the younger players can maybe rely upon for leadership a little bit, particularly in the early going. But we do anticipate having a number of our rookies play significant innings right from the get-go. I'd really hate to single 1 or 2 out, but I can tell you right now, we know that a freshman's going to start at first base. We've got 2 very good first basemen over there right now, and Caitlin Fowler and Megan Varinga. They're very similar. They're both left-handed hitters. They both play the field left-handed. They even come from the same travel ball organization, so their similarities are so eerie. But Sharon Swanson started for us last year at first base, but she's coming off shoulder surgery, and where her offensive game is where it needs to be right now. She's still a few weeks away from being able to throw the way she needs to throw, and so we're kind of got her slotted right now for the designated hitter position. So we know we're going to have a rookie at first base. Obviously, we'll have a new face at third. Right now, Jamie Saunders, a senior, looks like she'll get the start on opening day over there. She, last year played behind Cross and some others, and she's very patiently waited, and she will get an opportunity. we're going to have a junior college catcher or a freshman behind the plate. There's going to be a newcomer behind the plate. Angie Descoli, junior college catcher, coming here and has just had a really, really solid fall and early winter. And then Courtney Suter, the other catcher, who's a true freshman. So we know we're going to have rookies back there. We've got a talented group. I mean, I really don't, I've already mentioned a couple, but without going down the roster and being afraid you're going to leave somebody out, I certainly think that the conference will certainly learn who Kara Chambers is. She's a middle infielder, corner player that missed the fall with a shoulder surgery, but is just a couple of days away from being ready to go. Don't know if she'll play opening weekend, but we're pretty sure she'll play the second weekend, and she's a very, very gifted player. This year, the first weekend is kind of a new thing between Kennesaw State and Georgia Tech, and then we're co-hosting tournaments. We're flip-flopping opponents on days, and that'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun. But we feel very good about the challenging elements of our early season. Coastal Carolina comes in here the very first day of the season, and they're a very, very good softball program. I don't know a lot yet about. We haven't really dug into the scouting and the breakdown yet. But when we put the schedule together, we were sure that it was competitive, that it was a schedule that would make us better for the conference, particularly the early third of the schedule. So I think early in the year we see Alabama Birmingham, who's outstanding. We see the University of South Carolina from the SEC. We see Coastal Carolina. I've already mentioned them. We see Georgia Southern, who came up here and just beat the daylights out of us 3 times last year. We see some teams that are going to be great challenges for us, and it'll definitely give us a chance to measure ourselves, and it'll give us a chance to find out what we got to get better at. Well, our conference schedule is a little unusual this year, given the fact that this is the first time that the Atlantic Sun has played 3-game series, where in the past we played double headers. So we're seeing opponents for 1 extra time this year. That's something we've never done before. So having a 27-game conference schedule, you certainly are going to get a good look at everybody that you play. And of course, Florida Gulf Coast is the team to beat. They were the conference champion. They had the best pitcher in the conference. They had, arguably the best player in the conference. So yeah, we're gonna have our hands full. But we got our hands full with Spartanburg, USC Upstate. We've got our hands full with Mercer. We've got our hands full with Jacksonville, Lipscomb, North Florida, Stetson. We got our hands full with East Tennessee. I mean, I don't think I've left a conference school out. Northern Kentucky comes here for the first time, and people need to understand something about Northern Kentucky. They were one of the elite Division II softball programs around. They will not be anybody's patsy. So we've got a very, very tough conference schedule. The Lexi Day is an event that we've done now for several years, where we try to raise funds and awareness for the Alexis Kaiser Foundation. It's a foundation set up to try to help the quality of life of young people who suffer from neuromuscular afflictions. We're just trying to do what we can in our corner of the world. It's something that our players have embraced. Lexi Kaiser is part of our family. She is a young woman now who's around 10 years old, 10 or 11 years old, who has fought cerebral palsy since birth. And I love her. She's one of my heroes, and she's become a hero of the players. And we look forward to it. We hope everybody will come out and see what we do with Lexi Day here. And I also, want to encourage everybody to come out to every one of our home games. But if you only can come to one, come to Senior Day. That is part of Lexi's Day this year. But come out and see that, because there's just something special when you get to pay honor and tribute to the people who really make up the program, and that's the players. I've got a promise that I made with the team that we were not going to talk about this being my final season until after the year, because I want this to be their 2013. Okay, so you're not going to hear me talk a lot about this being my last season on the field. I will tell you this though, there is a certain amount of extra excitement to it for me. It's not sadness, it's not dread, and the reason I'm excited is I feel like that if I were going to have a group of people to go out with, I couldn't pick a better bunch. This is an exciting team that's going to get better. It's got that mixture of youth and experience that we talked about. I got a fantastic coaching staff. I'm going to have a lot of fun. I think we're going to play an entertaining brand of softball, and I think we're going to be competitive for the conference championship. So what else could you ask for?